It was at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
Nope. Nope.
Run.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. You know who it is by now. Now, ladies and gents, I wanted to showcase a deck that I do so very much enjoy messing around with, and that deck is at Ignista. Now, this is not a competitive deck by any stretch of the imagination. However, if you did want to make it competitive, definitely get at me in the comment section below with either your questions or some suggestions on how to make this deck a lot better. So, without wasting any more of your time, let's get straight into the deck profile. So, starting us off, we have triple a Chichi at Ignista. Now, a Chichi is important, basically allows you to search any of your level 4 or lower Ignista monsters from deck to hand. So definitely want to max out on this because you can search for your missing combo pieces. Next up, we have triple Picari at Ignista. Again, a very, very powerful card. This searches you any of your Ignista spells or traps. So you do want to kind of see this card as much as possible, ladies and gents. Hence why you're maxing out on 3 Picari and 3 Chichi. Next up, we are running double Bururu at Ignista. So Bururu is basically a Foolish Burial. It is also the tuner of the deck, and I really do value the tuner monster in this deck. Bururu is absolutely fantastic. He can, if this card along with another material is used for a synchro summon, Bururu allows you to special summon that synchro, that monster that you use to synchro back onto the field from the graveyard. So you get basically, you get 2 monsters on the field. Really, really powerful card, as well as Foolish Burial in any of your level 4 or lower Ignista monsters. Really do like this card. Next up, we are running double Doyan at Ignista. Doyan's alright. It just allows for a little bit of recursion. Allows you to add one of your monsters back from your graveyard. Next up, we are running double Hiari. Now, Hiari is an easy special summon if you control a Ignista monster. It doesn't have to necessarily be a main deck monster. It can also be a extra deck monster. What this allows you to do is basically search for your ritual monster. Now, one thing I noticed with these, the colors of each of the Ignista monsters corresponds to their extra deck counterparts. So if you notice, Hiari is blue, and the ritual monster is also blue. So the connection there is that he basically searches the ritual monster, and he can also search the ritual spell as well, depending on the situation. So really, really do value it more so for the special summon than actually searching out your ritual monster. Next up, another easy special summon, double Dulcin at Ignista. Now, Dulcin is basically the monster that allows you to go into the fusion. So it allows you to search for the fusion spell. Again, it's an easy extender as it special summons itself to the field if you control an Ignista monster. So I do value these two very much so because they're easy to get onto the field and it just makes for your plays basically. Next up, we are running one Water Leviathan at Ignista. I love this card. It can return all monsters on your opponent's side of the field with 2300 or less attack. And then when this card is involved in a battle, it basically halves the opponent's monster's attack. So it can kind of more or less beat over anything that it can reduce its attack by basically. So really, really powerful card. I do really like this card actually. It's actually crazy. So yeah, one Water Leviathan at Ignista. And then finally for the Ignista portion, we've got one Gachiri and one Gachiri. Gachiri is probably the better one of the two. Gachiri basically special summons itself to the field if a link monster is destroyed by battle, but Gachiri is the one, it adds a layer of protection to be able to not allow one of your monsters or your cyberse monsters to be destroyed by battle or card effect 1 per turn each. So if you've got a field full of Ignister monsters and you can manage to special summon Gachiri, you can actually protect them. And the special summon is very, very simple. So basically you target one card you control, you negate that monster's effects, and if you do, you can special summon this from your hand. So basically it's any of your level 4 or lower Ignister monsters. You can special summon one of them and then special summon Gachiri by negating that effects, and a lot of their effects activate on summon, so you've already got use out of them anyway. So yeah. Next up, for some generic cyberse support, because Ignisters are all cyberse, triple parallel exceed. This by far is probably the best extender in the game so far at the moment, in my opinion. Especially if you can take advantage of link summoning. Seeing this in your hand, you can go into rank 4s, you can go into extra link plays, you can go into ritual plays. It's just absolutely crazy. Triple parallel exceed, something that you're probably going to be seeing for a long time to come. Next up, we are running triple Balancer Lord. Easy, allows for easy normal summon, double normal summon by the way. So you can normal summon him out, pay 1,000, get an additional normal summon. Also when he is banished, which is something that we can actually do in this deck, you can special summon a cyberse monster from your hand, level 4 or lower. But I do value Balancer Lord, so I run him at 3. Next up, for some extenders, we are running one Link Flyer, one backup secretary. These are just extenders basically to special summon onto the field to go into extra deck plays, and I needed different attributes because of at arrival at Ignister in our extra deck, which takes 3+ monsters with different attributes. So having a wind and having a light is really, really powerful, along with some math mech cards, which are Mathmech Subtraction and Mathmech Sigma. Again, he's a tuner, so he allows you to go into some of your extra deck monsters, and it's a free special summon from hand or graveyard. So you can actually discard him for sign up mining, for example, and then special summon him back to the field, so you don't actually neg, and he's a tuner, which is really powerful. Mathmech Subtraction is just an easy special summon, and they are fire and light respectively. Next up, we are running just the one Microcoder. We've only got one target in our extra deck, so if you do manage to see this in our deck, it's not a brick. In our hand, it's not a brick, because we can actually use it to link someone from our hand into a Cold Talker monster. So yeah. Next up, we have the spells. So we have double Ignister AI Land. Now, ladies and gents, if I had the third one, I definitely would be playing it. However, I do not own a third AI land, so I'm only playing the 2. The deck still functions with 2 perfectly well, because this can recycle itself by banishing a monster from the graveyard. So it's never actually dead unless it gets Cosmic Cyclone, obviously. But really, really powerful card. Allows you to special summon different attributes of Ignister monster if you do not control any monsters in your main monster zone. So really, really powerful, and you can only special summon one of those attributes per turn. But if you think, most of our deck have different attributes anyway, so it's really, really powerful. So double Ignister AI Land. Next, for another extender, we are running one Idol Reborn. This is just a monster reborn for the archetype. It does have a graveyard effect where you can banish this card and a card from hand to add a Ignister spell or trap from your graveyard to your hand. However, it doesn't come up that often, but you just basically use it for the monster reborn effect, and it's a quick play fusion, quick play card. So definitely 2 of those. I was thinking about actually running this at 3, but 2 seems to be working out fine, to be honest. So yeah. Next up, we have the AI Love Fusion, just the in-archetype fusion spells, kind of like a mini Super Poly. You can use your opponent's link monster to go into one of your extra deck monsters. So yeah. Also running one AI Contact. So if I did have the third field spell, this would be a lot more potent. So basically, if you've got AI Land on field and you have an AI Land in hand and you have AI Contact in hand, you can activate this, pitch this to the graveyard, put the AI island in your hand back to the bottom of your deck, and draw 3 cards, ladies and gents. Absolutely crazy. Draw 3 cards, so you get 3 cards deeper into your deck. I probably would not run it at any more than 1, to be honest, because it can brick. But again, you can search this out with Picari if need be. So just the 1, in my opinion. Next, we have AI's Ritual. Pretty good card. Allows us to go into the Ritual monster, the Water Leviathan. We also have just some searchers. This should be the third Signet Mining. I've got a few Signet Mining spread over a number of decks, and I'm just trying to keep them in the decks that they're in respectively, but this should be a third one, but I'm just running Signet Backdoor because I only got 2 in this deck specifically, but it's just actually a nice searcher. And this combos very well with Balancer Lord, because you can get the double normal summon as well as the special summon from hand if you manage to see Balancer Lord and Signet Backdoor in your hand. So really powerful stuff. Next, for the traps, only running 2 traps, and that is AI Shadow and Compulsory Evacuation Device. Sorry about the beat up comment. But basically AI Shadow gives your Ignister monsters a bit of an attack redirection, and also if this card is face up on the field and it gets popped by one of your opponent's card effects, whether it's banished or in the graveyard, you draw a card. Simple as that. We all know what Compose does. Next up, onto the extra deck, we are running 1 Lingarebo, nice link 1, and tribute this to get rid of to negate traps. 1 Splash Mage, again this is just an extender for the deck. 1 Cold Talker Inverted, this is our target for Microcoder, again another extender. You can special summon a monster to the arrows that it points to from your hand. 1 Cyberswickage allows me to search for Baruru. Nice card, can't be destroyed by card effects, I believe. Yeah. 1 Update Jammer for the crazy OTKs, as well as its buddy or partner in crime, Transcode Talker. Again, if you see the opportunity to go into these 2, you might as well, because you can do 8k damage with these 2 alone, let alone whatever else you have on the field. We are also running 1 Dark Templar. This is the card that allows you to go into your arrival at Ignister. So if a monster is special summoned to a zone this card points to, you can special summon monsters from your graveyard with different attributes to the remaining zones that this card points to, which basically meets the requirements to be able to go into your Link 6 monster, which is really powerful. Also on top of that, when it does battle damage, you can just special summon a monster from your graveyard. It's crazy, it's absolutely crazy. Next up, we are running 1 Fire Phoenix at Ignister. This card's okay. I've done it mainly because I wanted to just play a bit more of a pure variant. It basically reborns itself on the following turn if it's destroyed by a battle or card effect, and it does a bit of burn damage. So yeah. Next, we are running 1 Firewall Dragon Dark Fluid. Again, all of our extra deck is cyberse, by the way. So being able to go into this, it can be quite problematic for your opponent, especially as you can meet the requirements by having a Synchro XCs and a Ritual in your graveyard pretty easily in this deck. So yeah, 1 Firewall Dragon Dark Fluid. Next, probably our win condition 1 The Arrival Cyberse at Ignister, unaffected by card effects, ladies and gents, and you can make this thing up to 6k attack if you do the combo correctly, but it's very unlikely. The most I've got it up on a consistent basis is 4000 attack. So basically it takes let me just check here, 3 monsters with different attributes. It is the first Link 6 in the game, I believe, and what it allows you to do is when it attacks, it can special summon a Cyberse token to your field, unaffected by card effects. That's the only thing that you need to know, and it gets real big. This is your win condition, by the way. If you get him out more times than not, you probably will win the game. Next, probably my favorite Ignister, win Pegasus at Ignister. When it's summoned, you can, during the main phase, and it's once per turn, you can just blow up the number of back row equal to number of Ignister monsters you control, which is very easy to do, which is crazy. Also, when a Ignister monster is either destroyed by battle or card effect, whether this card is on the field or in the graveyard, you can banish this card and then you can return shuffle 1 card your opponent controls back into the deck. Non-destruction removal, ladies and gents. I've actually thought about bumping this up to 2, which is probably what I will do. Next, we are playing one Cyberse Quantum Dragon. This card is a problem. It just bounces a monster and it can attack twice, which is crazy, providing you control a link monster, which is very easy to do in this deck. I love this card. Next up, we are running double Light Dragon Ignista. I'm probably going to take one of these out and put in another Baruru, but basically it's a bit of protection. It's like a mini Dingesu. A bit of protection, and you can pop monsters on the field equal to the number of Ignista monsters you control. So you can imagine it's quite easily possible to get out 4 Ignista cards on the board and pop 4 monsters with this card. So very powerful. And then finally we run the Link Monster, which is probably the next best Super Poly target that goes on the Super Poly list, which is Earth Golem at Ignista. So yes, ladies and gents, that is the deck profile. What would you do, ladies and gents? Would you make any changes? If so, get at me in the comment section below. And as always, we find ourselves at the end of another video. If you did like this content, be sure to like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And I will definitely see you guys on the next video. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.